conversation with my grandpa.
I can make that happen.
What?
No, seriously. I can make you a little trade.
When did you? You for real?
Yeah, I'm really a pervert.
Hey everybody, my name is Craig Knitt, and I'm a filmmaker from the central part of Wisconsin in a little speck of a town called Marion. I grew up here, but I also have been an art teacher in this area, and now I'm teaching up in Green Bay as well. My film, The Inheritance, was inspired by something I heard on the radio, and I can maybe tell you a little bit of that story later on. But I'm super excited to have it as a short film that's going to be playing in the Milwaukee Independent Short Film Festival. It's one of my favorite festivals that we've had. Ross has been a buddy for 20 years at least, and I think that's always a great job that they're doing down there. Now, the film was kind of inspired by something I heard Elton John say on the radio, something about a friend who he would give up all his money and all his fame to have one more conversation with this friend. And I thought, interesting, that's an easy thing to say, but what happens if you really get a chance for that to happen?
So you've had numerous short films at our festival over the past 20 years. We played The Egg last year as an anniversary film during our 25th anniversary, and it really was well received by the audience.
Awesome.
You mentioned that you haven't done narrative film in a while. Why is that?
Yeah, it's frustrating because within the last 5 years, I'd say I've done more video shoots than I've ever done in my life, but they're all for the Boys and Girls Club. So I work for the Boys and Girls Club right now, and I'm going to hide that logo at this point. But everything that I've done in that particular time slot has been for educational purposes for my kids. And I wanted to get back to telling some of my own stories because there's a certain skill set that a person gains when they become a storyteller. And I really want to get back to that because I miss those times and miss engaging with the audience. I've loved working with the Milwaukee Independent Short Film Festival and watching the audiences react in a certain way where they think they know what's happening here, and all of a sudden to pull the rug out from underneath their feet and something happens uniquely different. I just get such an enjoyment out of that, playing with the audience. And you really can only do that with short films, Ross. You can't really do that with features. The audience would get really mad if all of a sudden the whole hour that they've been sitting in the theater was nothing but a farce. They'd probably go, that is not what I want to see. I want a movie where it's meaningful. So you can do that with short films.
So this, you mentioned, was shot in a day in Waiwega, and you have a co-director on this, Teal. Can you let us know briefly who he is?
This is wonderful because Ian and I have been buddies for a long time too. Are you aware of who Ian is? You know who Ian is, don't you?
I've never met him personally. No.
Okay. Well, the Waiwega Film Festival is a really great film festival. I'd recommend that you get there sometime too, because it's a very rural setting. Waiwega is a small town, but Ian and Kathy own the Opera House in Waiwega, and they've used it as a showcase space for their film festivals for almost 20 years, I think. And they are filmmakers themselves. They're doing workshops currently with kids in the area, and they're pulling in interesting people from their past. They've actually shot a movie in New York area with James Gandolfini when he was just beginning as an actor. And another guy whose name escapes me right now, but he was one of the key guards in The Green Mile, the blonde-haired guard. And so they've got, they bring in some of these people that have had a lot of success with their careers and let the local folks get a chance to work with them and see what they can do. Ian was my bartender for this film. Ian helped shoot it. He helped set it up. When he wasn't in the shots, he was directing. So that really helped out a lot too, because usually if I'm directing everything and I'm in a shot, it gets tricky. And this was really helpful to have somebody that I know knows their stuff doing the stuff behind the camera.
And it was shot at the Opera House?
That's another cool aspect of it. It was shot at the Waiawega Opera House. So it's going to be playing there at their festival coming up, and then also at a festival that we're going to be doing celebrating some of the films of Bill Rebane, who is a Wisconsin movie mogul from way back in the day. He shot a film called The Giant Spider Invasion in 1974. And I've always admired Bill, and we're going to be recognizing him in Waiawega for a showing of his Giant Spider film, and then kind of showcasing a couple of other short films. I think this film, The Inheritance, will play there too. But just imagine how fun that's going to be, where people are going to be able to watch the movie playing on the screen in the setting, in the location that they're watching the film at. I think that's very heady. Be a lot of fun. But also, Ross, probably the coolest thing about the film is I was able to get a filmmaker by the name of John Jost to help out with it. I met John. He's a filmmaker he's internationally known as an experimental filmmaker, and he makes narratives, but they're all improvised, and they just kind of organically come together in such an interesting way. I watched one of his that it was actually some of it was shot in the New York Museum of Art. So how they get these locations and things is beyond me. And he's one of the early pioneers of some of these things. And I don't think a lot of people are aware of who he is, but I got a chance to meet him. I helped him with a couple of characters that he wanted me to play. And then I also got a chance to have him play the grandfather in this film, which I thought was just such a great honor to have a filmmaker of that level help me out on my project.
Got a good single malt for me?
I got wild turkey.
Oh. Give me whatever he's got.
That's wild turkey.
Okay.
I always enjoy your work, Craig, because there's a nice humor sensibility about the stuff. You may do a serious topic, but you do it with a lot of nice humor in it.
And I think that's how you can reach people. You know, I'm working on another piece that I thought I lost my chance on it, where it's kind of about political differences between neighbors and how it causes some serious rifts between friendships. And good God, I think I'm right smack dab in the time period where we need a film like that. But now I just don't know exactly how to tackle it. I was thinking about doing it with claymation, and I haven't really done a lot of that since high school, for God's sake. But I've got the ability to sculpt. I've got the ability to shoot. Time is always a factor, especially with animation. But it would be really cool to see something like that done, especially with our big election coming up in November.
You sent this to me basically on the last day of submissions. And it was, so you skated in right there. So are we the first festival that's going to be playing it, or are you going to play it somewhere else in the summer?
You guys are absolutely the first ones to do it. And Ross, I had no intention of trying to skirt into the festival at the last minute. I wanted you to see it because you read the script before it got a chance to be shot. You actually kind of gave me the thumbs up or thumbs down on it. You and another buddy of mine from California gave me script notes on this. You didn't really say much because you liked what we had, but I appreciated the fact that you had read it at least and gave me some feedback. So that's one of the reasons that I wanted to send it to you. And then the next thing I know is like, I love this film. I want to put it in the festival. And I'm like, well, Ross, let me get it done.
Thank you so much for doing this today, Craig.
Oh, thank you for having this film, Ross. It was just so, it made me smile from ear to ear when I knew that you liked it. And because that is so inspiring to have people that I respect that all of a sudden like what I've done, and it just makes me feel like, yeah, I need to do more of this.